uploading, Adrianna Young did not drown. And I am so happy that come down now, you are come down now. Come down now, you are come down now. One by one, you are come down now. Come down now, you are come down now. Hey guys, welcome back to our next video. I just want to say thank you all for watching. I'm just coming from the gym and seeing all the comments. I had taken down the video that I made this morning, and you know, we're not too big, we're not too old to admit when we are wrong, and I have some supporters that I don't want to be led astray, or lead astray. So I had read something this morning that I saw, and I didn't get it properly, or I didn't understand it properly. However, going through YouTube, I saw a video of the Dr. Carol Kerry that did the autopsy on our dear Adrianna Young, and I want us to take a listen to that video. Some persons have already listened to it already, because some were coming under the video telling me that I've get a misunderstanding or misinformation, and I want to thank you guys. You understand? Yes. So I've taken down that video and uploading this one now, so we can get a full and better understanding. And my heart come down. Honestly, listening to this doctor, my heart come down. So I'm just gonna find the video and we're gonna listen, and then we're gonna talk. Might interject now and again, but here goes.
Allowing me to conduct this examination. I know this is a very sensitive topic, and as with every case, I do the best I can in doing the examination. And in doing this case, realizing I'm doing a second autopsy, it's understood that this is mainly for quality control type purposes, because the first autopsy has already been conducted, and at that point in time, that is your best opportunity to see the pathology or injuries and disease processes in the original state, because by the time I do a second autopsy, artifacts have been introduced from the first autopsy, and in this case, as well as from the embalming. But first of all, I'm making sure that the first examination was conducted correctly. And
all right, I want to say something there. I read that this morning and I didn't understand it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe how it was worded, I didn't understand it. But listening to her now, I'm getting what she's saying, that the body was sort of compromised in her, the first autopsy would have been the best autopsy, where you can actually see everything that happened right there and then, before the body was even in a decomposing state, or it was already broken down, you know. But this now, having to do a second autopsy on the body, it was already compromised. So let's keep listening.
Conducted correctly and thoroughly, and it appeared that it was. There are some minor differences in techniques of dissection, but I think the first examination was conducted thoroughly. And as I'm doing this examination, first and foremost, I'm looking for any trauma to the body, and making sure that there is no trauma that has been overlooked in the first examination. And also, in going through the previously dissected organs, looking to see if there's any trauma to them, as well as any disease processes at play. And also, at this point in time, I'm collecting specimens in case additional testing needs to be done. Again, realizing the optimal specimens are from the first examination, but I'm conducting this examination keeping in mind that I'm not going to have a chance to go back. And so anything I need to do at this point in time. And so I think I over-collected things, but again, I don't get a second chance to go back and be thorough. So those are the things.
And that's what she's saying, that she collect overs more than she should. I totally get it, because she will not have a third autopsy done on the body. So me understand that. So whatever she needs to collect them now, which she had done, and that is a good thing. So this for me, honestly, it make my heart feel at ease. You understand, to know that they went to a next country and they did what they're supposed to do. You understand? And it is just a feeling. Hearing this woman speak, yeah, hearing this lady speak, me really feel good. And I know the family must feel at ease to know that, the autopsy that is done in America was done correctly. And this woman that is speaking, Carol A. Terry, big up yourself. Let's continue listening.
Things that I was mindful of in the course of doing this examination.
And did you find any evidence of trauma?
No, I did not.
Secondly, the first autopsy ruled that Adrianna Young drowned. Would you come to that conclusion?
At this point in time, I would not come to that conclusion. I think that there's a lot of information that needs to be gained, a lot of investigation that needs to be done. Drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion, and by that it means that you have to exclude other potential causes of death. And oftentimes, when a body is found in water, the assumption is that the person has drowned. There is nothing at autopsy that is diagnostic of drowning. So again, that's what I mean by saying drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion. And in this case, what I have been told regarding the circumstances are so suspicious that I really think that there needs to be a very thorough investigation, and I would want to know the results of, say, toxicologic testing or drug testing from the first examination, as well as any additional testing that was done in accordance with the first.
Right there. From what I'm getting to understand, so the reports that was done in Guyana, they weren't sent to this autopsy personnel. They weren't sent to this doctor lady then, or this MD. It was not sent to her, so she not have a conclusion, or she don't know exactly what that autopsy really have about toxicology pertaining the analyzing of this little young girl. So let's continue listen.
Be very reluctant to say that this child drowned.
Yes, I would. Based on the circumstances that are reported to me, I would.
And you would recommend a thorough criminal investigation.
So there she is ruling out drowning. Adrianna Young did not drown. And I am so happy that this is out there. This is a sign of relief for me, honestly, because the whole world know that this little girl did not drown in that pool. So let's listen again.
I also observed that you mentioned that there was some part of the body that was not examined. Could you take me through that?
Well, I don't know if I could say necessarily that it was not examined, but looking at the structures of the neck, the hyoid bone, which is a U-shaped bone that sits at the base of the tongue, as well as the thyroid cartilage, which is part of the voice box or the larynx, they still had a good bit of soft tissue, muscle, and whatnot around them. Now, certainly you could feel them and tell that they were intact, but for a case such as this, I wanted to expose them a little bit more so that there's no question that these structures were not broken.
How problematic, doctor, how problematic would it be to say that Adrianna Young drowned?
Again, I think it is problematic because of drowning being a diagnosis of exclusion, and what I was told regarding the circumstances of her disappearance and death and the subsequent finding of the body in a pool where it reportedly had previously been searched and she was not there. That I find very disturbing. It's not like she was seen playing in the water and then a little bit later is found under the water. This, as was told to me, she was seen in the water and then disappeared. And the pool was searched, she was not there, and then sometime later is found in the pool. That is disturbing because I don't think you can simply write it off as this child drowned. You've got to be concerned, did she die sometime earlier and then was placed in the pool? Because there's not going to be any good way to discern whether or not that happened. That's going to require an investigation and additional testing to see if there's anything that may be amiss, such as unexpected drugs in her system or any indication of a sexual assault. Things like this need to be considered and need to be looked at, given, again, the circumstances that were reported to me.
Doc, I need to ask, and I must. Did this body lose any forensic value?
I would say yes. The examination that I had the opportunity to do is compromised at this point because, again, it's a second autopsy. So we have issues of artifacts that are introduced by the first autopsy. We've got decomposition that has taken place, and we've got embalming that has occurred. Now, so that introduces a lot of artifact to the body, and it compromises the examination somewhat. But this diagnosis and this investigation doesn't hinge just on the autopsy. It primarily hinges on the investigation of the death or the investigation of any potential crime that occurred in association with this child's disappearance.
What next for you? What next from here?
All right, I'm just gonna close it off right there. I am happy and I feel really great that this was done, and it's ruled out that she did not drown in that pool. So yes, I just do back over the video because I had it wrong, but thanks be to God, because me did drain, and I honestly to God, the way how me did feel drain, and I did not wanted to do back this video. Like, me delete the video and I said, you know what, I'm not do back the video, you know? But then I remember say, not everybody knows what is happening. And I say, you know what, alright, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do this video and let everybody get an understanding like how I got an understanding. And this is really, 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 really good. You understand? I not even have to explain anything. I not have to, you understand, do any commentary on it or anything. It is just plain and understanding for me, and I get it. And so I hope, as the aunt wants the FBI's to come into Guyana, I hope that the government will allow them. And the funny thing about it is, before Adrianna's young, the day that Adrianna's young body was flown over to the USA, the government of Guyana, said that the autopsy that they had done was done correctly and everything. So how comes this lady, this MD, is finding other findings? How comes? To me, it's like when you just can't bother and you just say, listen to me, if I don't want to pull out, we just go say she drowned. Because as she said, the moment somebody is found floating or in any water, it's gonna say that they drowned. Persons are gonna say they drowned. So I'm just happy that she came, and you know, these news personnels give us light, shed light, and I'm very happy about it. Guys, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on your post notification bell so when I upload a video you can be notified. Love you guys. Mwah.
Hey, you know, this is Richard Stevens, Tashel White Faster. Make sure you subscribe. That's where you get great content. If you check it out, you'll be blessed.